how can I be more decisive? If you're like me, I struggle with weighing the options for too long and intellectualizing my life to where I don't make a decision. So here is my foolproof plan to becoming more decisive in your day-to-day life. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mitch. I use this channel to navigate my mental health with you, talking to myself alone in my room with you, my best friend. So, being decisive. Ooh, story time. This whole past week, I have been bouncing between this idea of staying in a situation or jumping into something brand new. Really, why I was weighing the options and why I was so indecisive was that known versus unknown, and the fear of the unknown and the fear of failure. And that often leads to a lot of my indecision. Something I discovered about myself was that I use indecision to avoid making any kind of choice until my back is against the wall and I have to make that choice, or I perceive something bad will happen and opportunities present themselves to me and I don't even think about the options. So I just say yes very quickly. Welcome to my brain of being so indecisive until the very last moment and then being borderline impulsive with my decision making. But how do I become more decisive? This is something I struggle with for a long time. And the simplest answer is one that my therapist gave me. It is flipping a coin. I know that feels so stupidly simple. And I think it can apply to smaller scale decisions. Large scale life altering decisions, yes, it's important to weigh the pros and the cons of both and so that you make a responsible decision. Decisiveness and responsibility go hand in hand. But for smaller decisions, when we are indecisive, it can feel easy to lean into the overwhelm of choice paralysis. Oh, do I want pizza or burgers? Oh, I don't know. I can't choose. And then you end up not eating at all. And so the thing that my therapist recommended for me to become more decisive is to flip a coin. So I go pizza or burgers, flip a coin, and then whatever it is, that's what I do. At first, it was easy to just lean on the coin flip and rely on that coin flip. But what starts to happen is that I was building the muscle of making that choice and therefore re-establishing my relationship to my instinct and my gut feeling. And that's it. The simplest solution is, in order to become more decisive, start by flipping a coin, truly, and just follow that. And what happened for me, and I hope happens for you, is as you flip that coin for every decision, you get used to the idea of presenting two options, flipping that coin, whatever it lands on is what you do. And so as you remove the coin from the equation, you still have the muscle memory of making a decision quickly. Because a lot of the time is what creates the indecision, or you just start to think more and more about each option to where my brain becomes a swirl of soup and I don't make any choice. Again, it's not a perfect science, and I don't think it applies to larger situations in our lives that do require more conscientious effort. But it can be that simple. I've been getting a lot of stuff on my feed about how quickly life can change. Life can change drastically in an instant. And me being here is living proof of that. As I said in my last video, which has been a while, I know, I packed up and moved without much of a plan. I don't recommend that because of the certain types of suffering that came with that. And I do also think it's good to listen to your gut and listen to your instinct, however quiet it may be, however long it may take. And you can do it, because I did it. And I am one of the most indecisive people that I have ever met. Everyone else around me seems to be so incredibly decisive, and I wasn't, and I'm not, and I'm getting better. And I think to stay in the mindset of a process, that it isn't a flip of a switch. I don't suddenly become more decisive. I learn to be more decisive by being decisive in small and seemingly meaningless choices, like pizza or burgers. And for every small choice that I make that allows me to be more decisive, I build that decisiveness muscle. so that when I am presented with huge opportunities or huge things that require this or that or a huge decision, I'm so much more inclined to listen to my instinct and trust it because I have built the muscle over time. Not a quick fix, but a simple one. We just listen to ourselves. And it's so grass is greener, or so easy for me to say, yes, you must listen to your instincts, of course. Oh, so simple. You can just listen to yourself and all the answers are already inside of you, which is true, but that's a bypass. Because what happens when you've spent your life not trusting your instincts, or a good portion of your life becoming disconnected from your instinct? How do you then rebuild that muscle? Small steps, one at a time, one choice at a time. And it's this irony and hypocrisy that I have, because for those I have talked to this past week, I have been the most annoyingly indecisive person. Yeah, where I just would whine and complain about having these two great options and not knowing what to do and being like, oh, boo-hoo, woe is me. And so all of it culminated in a very quick and very reflexive decision. And sometimes it can turn into that, right? When we become more aware and more in tune to our intuition, decisions that make sense to us and decisions that make sense to me are decisions I make very quickly. But what about you? How do you navigate your relationship to your instinct? Are you indecisive like me? What do you do to become more decisive? Or maybe you've always been decisive. Let me know in the comments below. And, while you're here, like and subscribe. And the ideas surrounding building our intuition, like all things, is that it is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. I think the only things that aren't simple are science. I have an issue with overcomplicating my life because I think to complicate it makes it more valuable. The more intricate I can intellectualize my life, the more valuable it is. But the true value of our lives is in its simplicity. And the simpler we can live, the more valuable it can be. And I don't mean to forsake all of your earthly possessions and become a monk and live that kind of simple life, but keeping it simple. And that is a lesson I am really, really trying to learn right now. And I think we all can, of just keeping it simple. And it doesn't have to be more complicated than it is. If you want to build your instinct, make decisions. If you don't know what decisions to make or stuck on a decision, flip a coin and follow that. And then the fun thing is when you flip a coin and it lands whatever option it is, that's when I realize what I want. I think that's it. Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet this time. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hello.